Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Just checking out my sound and my look. It's another no makeup day today, although I am better. I am not sick. Thank you for everybody who wrote and said, how are you doing? I guess Carol, maybe I had allergies, but I think I had a cold. But I'm better now. I don't think it was the big C, fingers crossed. I feel fine. So good morning, everybody. Heather, let me see who's here. Heather, I need to write to you. 8 minutes early. Woohoo! Good one, right? You're ahead of schedule. Crystal, good morning. Oh, I love to see you all chatting. That is so fun. Anita, I'm distracted by my carnival stick right here. I didn't realize that was on view there. I'll show you that in a minute because I have a great hooking idea with that. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Anita. Good morning, Carol P. Oh, I love this group too. It's so nice to be able to come here and be together. And I love today because it's like Thursday, I do another coffee time, but then tomorrow I know I have a few minutes to relax a little bit and get together a great idea for Friday night cocktail time, because that's always a big blowout. And I already have such a good idea for tomorrow. I was going to work it into today. And I said, no, Fridays are traditionally our day that we blow out with like kind of a mystery theme or a game or just something a bit large, a bit like supersized. So I already have something for tomorrow. Good morning, Joelle. Good morning, Chrissy. Good morning, Crystal. Let's do some visiting. Oh, I know it will be nice when it's time to visit again. I hope it's sooner rather than later. We all do, right? It's time to get together. Linda B. Carol, good morning from Prince Edward Island. Let's see, Donna, there you are in Alberta. Mom, there you are in Granby. Oh, all snuggled in, I hope. Hey, Susan, there you are. Good morning. From a half-hour walk in the woods. Oh, Susan, thank you so much. I'm sending you your white wool. I'll figure that out today because I know you need to get going with some dyeing. Good morning. I don't know if I said good morning to Anita yet, but I've got to say it again. Good morning, Shelley in British Columbia. Linda B. saying hi to Mom. Good morning, Doreen, upstate New York. Cynthia, good morning. Penny, good morning, everybody. Julie, Catherine in Arizona. Teresa in Ohio. This reminds me of our state rugs game yesterday, right? I'm excited for not tomorrow, but next Friday doing more with the state rugs. I'm super inspired by that whole series. Oh, you're working on Native Tom. That's great. And I love the squirrel too. I love the squirrel. I'm going to be talking about that later. Hold that thought. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Sharon. What other show do you have on Thursday? No, I just do coffee time on Thursday. But once I do it, I know that tomorrow morning I don't have a show. So it gives me an extra few hours in my head that I know I don't have to wake up on Friday and be ready to go. So Thursday afternoon is kind of a big puffy question mark. I can think about things and think about the Friday show with a few more hours to spare. And I think next week, let's start doing a Zoom day. I promise I will figure this out. It's just been busy, but let's do a Zoom day where we can interact and talk on camera if you want to. I'm going to figure out how to do that. I know it's going to be easy with the Facebook group, Rug Hooking and Punch Needle Club. But I'm going to figure out how to post that well here on YouTube for the people who are not on Facebook so that you're also able to Zoom in if you want to. I think I have a max. I know it's going to be fun, Linda. I think I have a max like 150, which is a lot. I mean, there's rarely that many people watch, but usually not at the same time. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Linda. Thank you for noticing. I was super late. It's so much, 35 extra pounds right here. Jam sandwich. Jossie's, call Jossie down. She's got the other jam sandwich shirt on. I was really late this year. You know, I got the hand with the thing for our happy hooking Thanksgiving, but I forgot about jam sandwich. And Jocelyn reminded me because she designed jam sandwich, and he's dressed as a pilgrim. I just had to think about whether it's okay to say pilgrim. That's how crazy this world is, right? But pilgrim certainly is okay. He's got his pilgrim hat on and his boots. That reminds me of a story my mom always tells while the kids are not here about how when I realized there was maybe not an SANTA, that I started to do this thing as a child where I was like, pilgrims, huh? Right. Yeah. People with buckles on their hats and their shoes. And my mother would go, no, it's real. They're real. You can't say that at school. You can't say the pilgrims aren't real. But it's a snowball that starts rolling, and then you start questioning everything. Here's the designer of jam sandwich. Stand back. Stand back. I accidentally bought her a lady's shirt, a lady size, but you know, she is a lady and she's growing every day. Little Jocelyn, she designed, don't kick the mic over. I'm the worst, right? She
No,
designed
you're
jam
not.
sandwich, and I've got it. This is not for people who get confused about the shirt merchandise. This is Tea Republic, so the link is in the thread, I think, for the shirts. Maybe I'll put it there if it's not. But the shirts, I don't make the shirts. I don't like manufacture anything other than hooked rugs and supplies. But I load the design, and it's on the page either dark on light or light on dark. Can you scoot, little one? You want to wave to your people? Oh, she's reading all the comments. Oh, Crystal says, oh, so great, Jocelyn. Oh, that's so nice. You did a beautiful job with your jam sandwich. He's an iconic character for our little brand, right? You going to say anything else? You're going to scoot.
I don't know if jam sandwich is a boy or a girl.
I don't know if it matters if he's a boy or a girl. I don't think it matters at all. It's like it's that kind of a world too. It just doesn't matter. Everything is interchangeable, which makes me super angry when we go to McDonald's and I order a Happy Meal and they say, is it for a boy or a girl? Because I'm not even a feminist. I'm not even an activist. I'm nothing. I have not strong opinions, but it does really tick me off because I think, well, girls like things that boys like and boys like things that girls like. And that's not an appropriate question. Is it a boy or a girl? Because you wouldn't want something with a mermaid or a fairy on it, would you? You'd want a truck. Anyway, let's get going with the show. Thank you, my model. She does all this great designing. And let me see if I can find, I was a little late with the Thanksgiving designs on Tea Republic. But anyway, you can order, Brenda, I did cut the neck of this one just because of intense weight issues and feeling so crappy. But they do sell these shirts with like loose necks and sort of off the shouldery necks and lots of different things. I just wanted this color, but I did get this one up already for soon. This is Jam Sandwich Christmas. So I ordered this in long sleeves. I was ahead of the ball with this for me and Joss and Teddy, and everybody's going to be wearing those. Okay. They don't make them for dogs yet, but here comes Buttons. He is one of the inspirations for a lot of hooked rugs in this house. Get him out. I got to start the show. Poor Buttons.
Bye, Button.
Good morning, everybody. The package came. We'll talk later. Okay, great, Carol. Yep. Yeah, let me know if that sky is not right because we can do the sky all over again. Okay, great. So that's that. I have so many things to show you this morning. First order of business. I almost dropped the ball again. And before I forget, I'm going to do a show this afternoon as soon as I'm done with lunch and get the 2 orders out that are sitting out there. I'm going to do one of the rug review shows. So you can look for that later. I haven't done one. It's supposed to be weekly. I haven't done one for weeks. But the last one I did was the Halloween one, where I look at rugs that are on the different Facebook pages, social media pages, and look at them always in a complimentary way for things that are going well, things that are going right, things that people did exceptionally well. And if I haven't got your rug, it's just because I'm not on Facebook that much. You can always send me your rug if you want me to use it in a review. I will use it. I will never say anything negative. I will always find one of the many positive things that is in every rug. So don't think because I haven't chosen your rug that I think your rug is less than other rugs. I don't think that at all. It's just a question of the minutes of the day that I'm on Facebook and what comes to the top of the feed at that moment. And along those lines, thank goodness I was on eBay the other day because this came to the top of the feed. Sandwich, that's right, Heather. I forgot. I wrote sandwich instead of sandwich. I don't know what's wrong with me. Never going to grow up. So on eBay, this McAdoo rug, and I know we've seen this before from doing small segments on McAdoo. It's on eBay right now. Let me pull it up and tell you where we are with that. If you want it, you've got 2 days and 7 hours left. There are only 2 bids on it, but that's going to change. I would bet, maybe not my life, but I would bet a lot that was going to change. A 1990 McAdoo hand-hooked and dyed ladies' shoes wool rug, excellent condition, 30 by 40. I'll show you it again. It's at $227.50. Remember, these McAdoo rugs are super collectible. They are very hard to find. They are extremely rare. This is a very attractive pop culture subject. It's a scatter rug. We'll talk about that in a sec. And it says on it, just so you know, just in case you feel like you lost a rug like this or you're trying to find a rug that your mom did, 1990, and it's signed FS. So $227 at this moment. My colors are never good, even though that's high quality with this stupid printer. But really pretty, sort of modern looking rug. Anything, we talk about this a lot in the composition classes, anything that's scattered like this, quilters know this already, there is such a thing as a scatter print with fabric. And this is a scatter print with hooked rugs. So just super, super pretty, very different. You still have time to bid. If shoes are your thing, I know with a lot of people, shoes are their thing. And if that's the case, then this might be the rug for you. There's a few other things I wanted to show. Let me make sure I'm organized. Ha ha ha. Probably not. Yep, I got it. So, okay, McAdoo rug. I wanted to just nail a couple of things that I forgot about with Molly too. We'll do that in a second. And some new ideas today. I just cannot stop coming up with ideas. I wish I could, wouldn't you think that the NyQuil last night would have put my brain on hold a little bit, that I would be able to relax? It didn't happen. I woke up and I was like a fireball again. But the NyQuil was really nice, I have to say. I got kicked in the face, I'm sure, 20 times overnight with Teddy sleeping next to me, and I didn't even wake up. So that feels good. But I woke up really late, so I'm a bit scattered. I do want to say we put a post up last night about possible classes on Facebook, Rug Hooking and Punch Needle Club, residue from NyQuil. And a lot of people came back with ideas. So the things that I feel comfortable doing, because, I'm not like the best hooker in the world. I've just got a lot of momentum going with designs, with my own things that I hook and I like and I make. But it's not like I'm, the best. So if a suggestion comes up for something that I think, I'm not that good at that, or I haven't done enough of that to teach it, I'll find someone else maybe to teach it and do some kind of a thing where we get that going. But the classes that I feel like I would be comfortable teaching, I will teach. I've done a lot of teaching, just not a lot of rug hooking teaching. A lot lately, but not every subject. Beginners classes I've been doing tons of. Composition classes I've been doing tons of. So the next composition class, I will announce today or tomorrow a date for like a winter solstice theme. It won't be all holiday. It'll be some holiday. And I'm also going to be announcing definitely that dyeing class, because remember, I stocked up on all kinds of tools and bottles and little containers so I can send everybody X amount of dye colors, and maybe you even choose those colors, wool. And I might even send like the glitter wool, the door wool that's glitter, because I'm going to go get some from Naomi at Ravensgate. She's also in Connecticut. She's got like a big bolt. So I'm going to get a ton of that from her. I might put some glitter wool in there from Door. That's a bit festive for holidays, New Year, and snow. And I'll definitely put some skeins of yarn in there that I get from the Maritime family. So we'll be dyeing in that class. It'll probably be a 2-hour class, maybe 2.5, a few skeins of yarn and a bit of wool. And I will announce that. And I will have everything in your box as part of the kit: the colors, the bottles, the synthropol, the citric acid crystals, all of that. And the only thing that you will need is like a wooden spoon and a couple of casserole dishes from Goodwill, or cheap casserole dishes, So that's coming up too. I'll announce those things later. I just have to tie up the Molly and Toby stuff, because I found some of the stuff I printed out to show you, and I didn't show you all of it. And I just have to ask you this question. Let's assume that everyone can make a welcome rug. I mean, I love welcome rugs, particularly when they're hooked. But how many people make a high rug? I mean, remember, she died in 1984 in her 90s. This rug is not new. This isn't something cute from Home Goods. She made a welcome rug that says hi. I mean, I just think that is so neat. And some of the other rugs that went to auction in the last 2 years of hers that I am trying to track down now, they went to auction with Bruno Auctions in Rhode Island. This was one of them. Just really different composition. Little houses, almost like little Provincetown beach houses. You see a lot of house rugs, right? Joan Moshimer did the classic house rug. I love it. I have it. One day I'll actually hook it. I absolutely love it. When you see house rugs that are based on quilting houses, like just the little lonely schoolhouse, it is always over the top amazing. But this, right? She has taken the shape of the basic house and created this little stark village on a very light and modern background. For a mid-century rug, you know how important white was in the mid-century. The Victorians used so much color. We think that further back in time, they didn't use color. They used color like this on their walls, always. They never used white. In mid-century design, everywhere, not just in the US, white was real popular to have as a background color. And Molly's using it for this really modern scene of houses, the most different house composition I've ever seen. And then this one, which had a lot of issues, that's the schmutz that you're seeing is not a photo thing. there's schmutz on it, but you can see this was a beautiful 1948 rug for probably one of her 3 sons, one of the Jays, with a piece of construction equipment on it. But again, in terms of composition, when you look at that, you see, for those of you that have already done the composition class with me, when you fold something in 4s or you break something in 4s, and I always say that is going to be a home run in terms of composition. This is a classic example of that. It is a home run. And you see how she's done different things. She put the billowing smoke, like the doodle smoke out the back, but she's done different things with colors in the tires. And different things with the person in the truck. In some cases, the person has dark hair, in some cases white hair, and some red, one has red hair. But I hope whoever currently has this rug that they're dealing with this, because that is something that needs to be addressed before something worse happens to that rug. Again, a very modern rug for 1948. These are 2 others that went to auction recently. Wagon wheels. I use that as one of the front pieces for one of our talks. But this, I mean, come on. If you think about wagon wheels and you just think, wow, I wonder if a wagon wheel would make a good composition, and then you do them in crazy colors like this, why not? In different scales, some big, some small, some with really thick spokes, some with really thin spokes. What an amazing mid-century composition for somebody living in a pretty quiet little town, little village town, come up with these kinds of things. And then this very, very small composition with one tiny scroll and a little bit of floral, really different. It has a snail quality, but this is actually wrong side up. It is like a scroll. And then the fanciness of the colors around the border, just different. Even doing one thing. Now imagine if you challenged yourself by looking at a Pearl McGowan rug and you said, I wonder if I could do something different with this scroll. And you cropped the scroll to be one little scroll and you turned it into a rug. It could come out looking like that. And who would ever do that? You would think it's not enough. It's not enough bling. It's not enough subject. Turns out it is, if you like that rug. And she did stuff that was more traditional like this, you know, lots of blues in the background. These are from the auction site from Bruno's. And this really different too. I can't get a feel for what these are. I hope to find that out someday. I love her big fat sort of berries that go with her flowers. You know, I always say the classic composition rule, don't do things in 2s, but she's done these flowers in 2s. And I have to say, she broke the rule, and I still love this composition. These distract me right now because I don't know exactly what they are, but I bet one day we'll find out. It might have just been a very graphic scroll. And then I don't know if you, you should if you don't. What is this blog called? Oh, Sandra, come on, did I not write it down? Help me out if you know. Sandra, I'll have to figure it out. I'll have to add it to the thing because it comes every day, and it's a beautiful blog. But she posted a couple of Molly Naitobi blogs, one of them with all those rugs from that Bruno auction 2 years ago when it came up. And then a later post when Tom Toby, who I'm still trying to get in touch with, I'm worried about why I haven't heard from him after he wrote, but he came up with a couple of rugs that he found in the attic that were family rugs. So this one, either for one of the sons or the grandchildren. Kara, look at that because I know about the composition you're thinking of. But it's basically a repeat, right? But the faces are different. The colors are different. It's a very stylized horse from a carousel. And it's just the most bare suggestion of the carousel with the sort of ribbony scroll and the 3 posts in the background. And, you know, again, composition, simple is hard. It's easy to go over the top. It's easier to put 1,000 extra lines in there. But it's hard to do simple. And this is beautiful. Also, look at the way she's cropped it. It's very relaxed. It gives you that feeling of that Mary Poppins supercalifragilistic moment. But yeah, I thought that was beautiful. And then this is another one that the Tobys found. It's another one for kids. It's done really, it must be exactly after a child's drawing, but the heavy equipment and the boats, and yeah, it definitely looks like a child did it and she just copied it exactly. Birds, love those color blocked houses, right? I know. I mean, it gives you great ideas for composition when you see something simple, like the line drawings for the houses, the line drawings for the carousel horses. You think of a subject like a village or a carousel and your mind thinks busy. And you sit down to draw or flesh out your design and you maybe get carried away with busy. And you just have to sometimes bring it back and think, no, pull back. Let's do simple instead of busy. And you get something like that I think is extraordinary. So let me show you a couple more things. I have two books that I want to show you today just quickly, and I want to be pretty fast about it. I want to let you know the sweaters are still available. I'm cutting them as I go. The party is not over. The party is raging and continues. There's tons more. I think I have them all going out right now, but as the orders come in, they will come out. I'm shipping same day or next day at this point. I'm pretty caught up, and I am coming out with some more sweater kits. Now, how many of you out there love for Christmas, not just red and green, but red and green and tons of pink? I love 1950s vintage pinks at Christmas to go with the red and the green. So I'm going to be coming out with a few. This is a few of them. You can't see it good on camera. I can see it doesn't look good at all. But I've got a few Christmassy holiday themed kits coming out that will be Christmas colors and some with the addition of pink, because I've got a lot of pink sweaters I've been hoarding. Also, to be thinking about, I just did a baddie with a shirt, but that's all right. I was going to rip it anyway. To be thinking about, I'm going to be coming out very soon with some New Year's stuff and some blingy stuff. And this is just another thing if you're in the thrift store to look for. I've been hoarding silk dupioni. And if you don't know dupioni, it's like a bit of a textured silk. It's very papery and thin. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant color. It's 100% silk. Dupioni is very similar to like taffeta. What's the other one it's similar to? Shatung. But you see these shirts a lot around holiday time, and they are at Goodwill now. And I'm going to be doing a lot with them in the near future. I'm just finding a place where I can rip. Here's a good place to rip. So it rips really well. This material is like papery, right? So you're going to get a good old rip like this. And it's going to come out all ribbony like sari silk. Basically, sari silk is this kind of silk. But you get a lot of these holiday shirts in thrift stores, often damaged, usually quite cheap. And they're often super bright and stripy. So just know, file in the back of your head that I am going to be doing some designs like the sweater kits, but I'm going to be doing some stuff with recycled silk, dupioni, shatung, taffeta, anything like that in these bright stripes and plaids. I try to think about what is at the thrift store now, that if you don't want to get a kit or you're on a budget and, there any scenario that you can go and look for and do the same thing that I'm doing and that, we're doing here with kits, you should be able to do the same thing. So as I was thinking about the sweaters, I started thinking, there are so many sweaters that I have that I can't use for our sweater hooking, like Fairisles, right? So I love this Fairisle, and it has a hole. And even if it didn't, I would have only fit into it if I time traveled to be 4 children. So I still want to use it for hooking, right? I'm not a huge applique or felt type person. I want to use this for hooking. So what I decided to do, and I will let you know how this comes out because I thought of this morning. Where'd you order the sweater stuff? Okay, I'll put a link to the shop. They should be right in the front of the banner right now, Doreen, but I'll put a link. They're in ribboncandyhooking.com. If you can post a link, that would be amazing, to the sweater sets. They should be right on top, but we'll get you a link. So I still want to use this. And what I decided to do, and again, I'll let you know how this turns out, is I just can't let this go. And I can't just do a pillow with it. It's got to be something else. So what I did was just now, this is why I didn't get a chance to put makeup on. I zigzag stitched right up the edges because that it wants to unravel, right? As soon as I get in there, it's going to unravel. I stitched around there. So I think I forgot my scissors, but as soon as I get off, I'm going to cut on the side of the zigzag so I can cut a huge piece of this off. And what I'm going to do, and I'll let you know how this goes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it on my frame. This is just my little frame I play with. I haven't tried this yet. Now, you're not going to be able to do this with punching, right? Because I'll never get it tight enough to do. Oh, no, I'll do it later. Thank you, though. I'll never get it tight enough to do with punching. But I think I can do it with hooking. I'm going to start playing with yarn. Now, this is Madeline Tosh. This is like fancy yarn. This is called Neon Peach, this color. But I'm guessing, and I haven't even tried yet, but I'm guessing that I'm going to be able to hook. I've got it doubled up here, that I'm going to be able to hook simple things. Because why wouldn't I be able to, right? This is not traditional backing, right? So it's going to play you up a lot. Another thing that I might do, and I think I will, because it's working, but it's going to be loose, right? Those are literally the first stitches I've done with this idea. It's going to be loose. So what I think I'll do is go to my craft store, which is like Michael's, Joann's, and I think I'll get some fusible interfacing, and I think I'll be very careful, one-sided. This is how I ruined my iron twice. I think I'll put some on the back to give it a little bit of stability on the back. Real careful with knits and iron and whatever. This is 100% wool, this sweater. But I think I'm going to do that because what I really want to do is get a chunk off of this Fairisle sweater that I can't think of how to use hooking-wise in any other way. And I'm going to do a simple design onto it. You see how geometric this is already. I'm not going to fool with Sharpies on this. I'm not going to take the chance, even though they're not supposed to bleed. But you see, the loops are going to be real pretty. It's going to work out. So what I'm going to do is draw, I was sketching some designs just now on the couch. Feather tree, right? This is a real simple design, feather tree with a star. I literally just did these star border, heart border, maybe a garland around if I end up doing an oval shape with like popcorn and cranberries, some sort of fracture, hand and heart cookie stuff, a little cookie bird. I'm probably going to go with this design, like a snowy little house. Actually, no, I think I'm going to go with this design. But anyway, I'm going to give it a try, and I'm going to see how it goes. So if you, in your hoarding of sweaters with our projects here, ended up getting some that you feel you can't use, why not try something like this? Just stabilize the edges if you have one that has a kind of Fairisle, a lot going on in the back. And you're not able to cut it, why not try just stretching it on your stretcher as tight as you can, give it a zigzag because it wants to unravel, and just see how much you can hook into it. The reason I might do the feather tree is because I'm dying to use this yarn, which I think comes from England. It's called King Cole, like old King Cole, tinsel, chunky. And it's super multicolored. And then this one came from like Etsy, but like Bulgaria, something like that, Eastern Europe. Beautiful tinsel, because if I do my feather tree in a nice evergreen color, I could put some bling on it with this. Right in the middle of that super pastel backing. You know, I could be onto something. I don't know, but I'll let you know I could be onto something. And I want to show you something else. We're already running out of time, so let me do this fast. And, you know, I wanted to show you, too, the reverse of that Fairisle. If you're thinking, oh, I love that idea, but I don't have a really nice Fairisle sweater. Do you have a lot of nice yarns? These are basically the same yarns that are in that Fairisle sweater. Do you have a lot of nice yarns? Because just go to Goodwill and get a black sweater or a green sweater and do it in reverse. Instead of having the busy background and the pretty, yummy Fairisle colors, get a solid one and use your yarns to do the opposite, right? Just an idea. By the way, another kit coming out with, I have about 50 of these mohair scarves. These are like the all mohair from Ireland. I'm going to try to get the pattern out today. That's going to be a new sweater set too, using the mohair that I've washed multiple times. It hooks beautifully. So look for that later today too. Quick book review. God, I'm late. This book shocked me. It's so great. This is going to be in the feed, and it's going to be on the video if you want to check it out on Amazon. Designing Handmade Rugs, 2012, British book by Annie Shelburne. Right. Really, I don't know how I missed this book. I guess it's because it's not a traditional publisher, Stackpole Books. This book is amazing. She talks about making a lot of different kinds of rugs, a lot of Prati. Remember, Prati in the UK is really popular. I'm going to just show you some of the stuff in this book if you're interested. It's a book that's like complete. Oh, you have this book? April, nice. There's one other book that Annie does that I haven't gotten yet. She does a lot with Prati in the book. She does a lot of very high texture, right? British hooking is not rules-driven hooking, right? It's got traditionally a lot of pile. Look at this. Talk about hooking with sweaters. Look at this. Can you see that craziness using all that ribbing? Pulling it up like that, and then look at all the high loops in the background. I mean, that is serious texture, right? Really good abstract stuff. She talks about hooking with yarn. She talks about cutting stuff up like we've been doing. I just got this book on Amazon. I can't believe I didn't see it because I love it. She talks about dyeing with natural stuff, not just the synthetic dyes, but the chemical dyes, but natural stuff. Dyeing yarn. She's also into wool. She's cutting sweaters. She's over dyeing sweaters. She's got our old friend out, the Susan Burr. I'm going to talk about that later in the video that I do later this afternoon, because I was chatting with a woman who, one of the rugs I'm going to show, she used Yield Susan Burr. And I said to her, when I used it for that demonstration on that cocktail night, I seriously felt like I needed to go to like therapy, like physical therapy the next morning, because it was so taxing on my body. I am out of shape, but I mean, it was something special, the kind of activity that it took. And she agreed. She said she needed to bust out the Bengay because she was struggling after that. But people are still using it, obviously, in this book. She talks about other tools and materials. She does a lot with cutting stuff out and gluing the back. This is something I don't do a lot of. So this is going to be a good resource for that, because I'm always getting questions about gluing. I'm not a big cutter gluer. But she does a lot of neat projects in this book. A lot of design stuff, talking about stripes and patterns, where she gets inspiration. You know, she's got a bit of an ethnic style, very colorful and pretty, very sort of Kaffe Fassett in its approach. She talks about texture, and she's doing a lot of Pradi. I mean, every page, that's a Pradi tool she's using there. You see that a lot. Every page, I'm going to cut it off in a second, is something different. But it's a really colorful book with a lot of interesting, she's not showing you patterns and stuff like that. She's just showing you, you want to do a circle? Well, do this. Do something like this. Draw something like this. Draw it right on your backing and just do it. So it's a very good spontaneous book. She shows you rugs she does that are a little more traditional too, you know, where symmetry is a thing and composition is more of a thing. But it is a beautiful, really, she does geometrics, a lot of tribal-y stuff. I mean, it's just a gorgeous book. I recommend it highly. She does a lot of hooking and then cutting it out, and that's where the glue comes in. Taking things from nature. And then at the end, I'll leave you on this sentiment because it's so great. Flowers. It's a beautiful book. I don't know how I missed it for so long. I'm going to actually read it bit by bit. She talks about doing stuff with kids. So I'm going to be reading this chapter. You know, I do a lot with my kids, but I could always do more. And she talks at the end, and this is such a British thing, because the sort of bachelorette party is a much bigger thing, I think, in Europe than it is here. She does very highly tufted stuff too, like this. It's almost like stuffed animal. I think that is really neat. Pom-pom tails. And I mean, we say Waldoboro, but they're just doing high tufting. She talks at the end about doing like bachelorette parties where everybody brings their t-shirts, their old t-shirts, and you just sit and hook a rug together. And I thought, isn't that an amazing idea? What a fun thing to do. You end up with stuff like this. But what a beautiful, colorful book. It's really filled with, it's an idea book. It's not a pattern book. It's an idea book. Designing Handmade Rugs by Annie Shelburne. Hey, I will see you all tomorrow with more ideas. I see how far I got with these ideas. Have a great day, everybody. April, I'm glad you're giving that book a recommendation, a big thumbs up, because I love it too. And I really do recommend it. You only need one book that tells you technique. She does show you some of her drawings in the back. So it's not a pattern book, but it's not like a traditional gridded one. It's a more freestyle one. And I think that is very freeing, but she's got some beautiful patterns in here. Hey, have a great day. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. We'll see where we are. I have a great, exciting episode for you tomorrow about a hooking story, a rug story that spans decades. It's like a mystery that unfolds. So I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.